Thank you very much for stopping by the SPS session. My name is Kirill Strzelecki. I'm a faculty at Cleveland State. I'm also right now happen to be the president of SPS, Society of Executives. It's an elected position, and so I serve there for the next 2 years. Okay, so I'm very excited to see so many of you here on campus of Cleveland State at the zone meeting at the SPS event. Thank you very much for coming. So I think we all should be very happy that you guys here. And well, we have Associate Zone Counselor Jacob. Hi. And Zone Counselor Ron. Hello. And yeah, so you guys want to start from here?
So, hi, I'm Jacob Calebs. I'm from Wayne State University over in Detroit. I'm your Associate Zone Counselor. It's an elected position. I'm sure many of you might have participated in that election. I'm around for about a year, so you'll be hearing a lot from me. I'm the main one that's been sending all those emails to the advisors and officers the past week or so.
And I'm Ron Kuhlman. I'm the zone counselor. I'm kind of the faculty professional side of the council. We have 2 representatives to the national council from our zone. And I'm from Kettering University, and I've been this is my 5th year in the position. So I've been sending out emails even longer, Jacob.
Maybe to start out, I would like to throw this out there immediately. The position of Associate Zone Counselor is elected position, as position of Zone Counselor as well, but student is elected every single year. So elections are coming up in the spring. So if you're interested in helping SPS, National Office of SPS, you can run. Okay, and we can talk about this later as we go, right?
Absolutely. Do you want to do introductions? Maybe a quick name
Sure.
and university?
Yeah.
So here's our agenda just briefly for today. So we're going to, obviously starting the welcome already here. We'll do some introductions. I'll talk a little bit more about what Zone 7 is. We'll talk about a little bit about what the national programs are. We'll have a little bit more about that at 5 o'clock for the main audience. And then we'll talk about a short presentation from Patrick from CSU about their chapter activities. And we'll talk a little bit about chapter reports and have some discussion too. Okay. So we want to try to keep this, we'll keep the formal stuff brief, but that's kind of where we're going. So why don't we go ahead and let's do the introductions. We already started this, but why don't we get to you? So why don't you just go around briefly, introduce yourselves, where you're from?
I'm James Tatum. I'm a physics undergrad at CSU senior year.
Hi, I'm Jordan Miller. I'm also a student at CSU, and I'm also the vice president of our SPS chapter.
Jeremiah Green, also undergraduate at CSU.
I'm Grace Moore. I'm an undergrad. And that's
Go.
Colin Douglas. I'm a graduate student at CSU. I'm also the treasurer for the SPS chapter.
I'm Patrick. I am the president of the SPS chapter here at CSU. You'll hear more from me later, so
We'll just go like zigzag.
beautiful. I'm Molly. I'm a sophomore in technology Worcester.
I'm Joey. I'm a junior from Ohio University.
I'm Greta. I'm a junior at Ohio University. I'm the president of our SPS chapter. I'm Grace. I'm also a junior from Ohio University, and I'm treasurer. I'm Amanda. I'm also a junior at Ohio University, and I'm the vice president.
I'm Dr. Tran. I'm the SPS advisor at Ohio University.
I'm Charlotte Vincent. I'm a junior, and I am the president of the SPS at
I'm Ananta. I'm also a junior at East Western Reserve University, and I'm the treasurer of the
I'm Ben. I'm also a junior at Kickoff State Western. I'm vice president.
I'm Grace, and I'm a senior at Case Western.
I'm Gwen Rowe. I'm a freshman at East Western.
I'm Luke. I'm a junior.
I'm Augustus. I'm a junior at the College of Worcester.
I'm Marceline. I'm a senior physics major at Penn State. I'm also the president of our company. I'm Sarada. I'm a junior at Penn State, and I'm the vice president of our chapter.
Chris, major at Case. Jonathan, I'm not doing major at Case. I'm Matthew. I'm a grad student at CSU.
I'm Sydney. I'm a physics undergrad at Case.
I'm David. I'm a junior at East Western.
I'm Ray. I'm a junior at East Western.
I'm Aditya and I am from Kickoff. I'm a senior of SPS chapter. I'm a undergraduate Meredith College Computer Science. I'm out there, I'm a sophomore in college.
I'm Swaraj. I'm a junior in astronomy at the Ohio State University, and I'm the vice president of our SPS chapter.
I'm Stephen. Stephen.
I'm Caitlin, I'm a sophomore. Maryland, I'm resident from
I'm Leo. I'm a sophomore in East Winter. I'm Aman. I'm a senior physics major at Case. I'm George. I'm a junior. I'm Dan. I'm a senior.
I'm Salim. I'm a physics major from the Ohio State University, and I'm that's
Any Michigan people here? It's just us two. I love that so much. So during Catarines.
Okay. Yeah. So we just briefly give a brief overview. A lot of you probably know this already, but we'll just hit the highlights here. So Society of Physics Students is a general society for anyone who's interested in physics and astronomy or related topics. Its chapters are chartered all over the country, 2 years and 4-year colleges. We have more than 860 chapters nationwide and actually around the world. And we also have kind of linked but distinct the Sigma Pi Sigma, which is the Physics Honor Society component, which is housed kind of in a related organization. And basically, there are different criteria, different places, but it's just to honor students who are interested in physics or astronomy, and also has a sort of service component to it. And once you join, it's a lifelong membership, and there are over 80,000 folks who have joined since it started a little more than 100 years ago. So just briefly, what is Zone 7? So Zone 7 is our little section of the Society of Physics Students. We are Lower Peninsula of Michigan, Ohio, West Virginia, and a little bit of Western Pennsylvania. And so we have just about 100 chapters in that geographic area that Jacob and I represent. And you can see it covers the whole country and then a few international zones, as international locations as well. So just briefly then, how does this work? So each zone contributes 2 representatives. So there's 36 representatives, plus then there is a president, and also Sigma Pi Sigma has a president. And and then there's also a kind of some representative at large. That consists of the National Council. And there's also then an executive committee, which sort of takes care of the more day-to-day activities, works with the staff in the office, and they kind of take care of the administrative and supervisory responsibilities for the chapter. If you call the main number for the study physics students, you'll get somebody at the national office, and they work with the executive committee. Okay. The executive committee is composed of the SPS president, the Society of Physics Students president, a member at large from the American Institute of Physics, which is kind of an umbrella organization for physics, as well as the SPS director and a historian, and an associate zone council representative. So here is the current council. So you can see kind of a diverse group of folks. Our new director here, Rachel Ivey, she just started just a few months ago, and she's going to be heading up the organization in the short term here. All right, we started something new this year. I think it's new in the country. That's the zone council. So we have a big zone, a lot of chapters, a lot of students. So I thought, well, it'd be a great idea to let's get some representation from not just, 1 or 2 people. So we had solicited some volunteers. And so we had 3 people step up. So Tali Lansing from the College of Worcester, Charlotte Bimson from Case Western Reserve University, and Peter Burberry from Marshall University. We're still looking for somebody from Pennsylvania, so if you know somebody. Or if you're interested yourself, let us know. It's just kind of a volunteer group, and we're always looking for folks to help out. And the role of the Zone Council is just to provide some advice and help plan events. Our main events are these zone meetings, but we're thinking about doing some other things as well, maybe some field trips. And so if you're interested, let us know. Okay, what does the zone do for you? So several things. First of all, we represent your interests on the National Council. So if you have things that you'd like to have addressed at a national level, please come talk to us about those things. We help to organize your zone meetings. So the zone meetings are locally hosted. CSU is doing the job here this time around, but we provide some support in that regard. And then we also help to communicate information out to you via SPS programs. Often that's through email. We'll also be talking about that here some today. And then we also, and we would like to do more of this, actually facilitate interaction between you and other chapters in the zone, okay? And so here's some examples of, this is some recent zone meetings on Lawrence Tech last fall, Wayne State in the spring, and trying to get folks together and just talk to each other and find out what's going on at individual chapters. And we find that people often have the same problems, but then also have innovative solutions as well.
That's definitely not me as a spherical cow. It was fun.
Okay, I did want to make you aware of some communication mechanisms that we're trying to use here. First of all, we do have a website, which is quite nice, and it gives a lot of good information about your zone in terms of it's got a list of all the chapters in the zone. You can look up your zone number, your chapter number. Also, it's got a history of some of the previous zone meetings. You want to see what's involved. Maybe you want to host a zone meeting, see what other people have done. And it has contact information for us as well. We have a YouTube channel where I've been trying to post some of the videos that we've created at some of the zone meetings. So you can check that out. And then most recently, the Discord server. How many people use Discord? A few people. Okay, great, a lot of people. All right, so we do have a Discord server. Take a photo of that right now and join our Discord server. And we would love to have more people on that so we can get the word out on a more rapid basis. We'll also send, if you sign up on the sign-up sheet, we'll send these slides out to you so you can get those later as well. I did want to introduce to you some of the people who are in the national office staff. They are the people that when you call, they're the ones you probably interact with. So Rachel Ivey, she is the new interim director. They'll be looking for a permanent director here this year. Kayla Stevens is the assistant director involved for SPS. So she takes care of those issues. Muge Karagos, she just started as the assistant director for Sigma by Sigma. So she takes care of the honor study component of things. Michaela Cleaver here, Lydia Quijada and Sasha Durham, they take care of a bunch of different things in the office. Michaela does a lot of stuff online. Lydia takes care of a lot of the membership issues. Sasha also takes care of a lot of membership and other issues. So they're really helpful people. If you have a problem, call them. They'll get you set up or send an email.
They're lovely.
Yeah. Did you want to talk about some stuff too? Sure. Okay, go ahead.
So one thing I really like to talk about when it comes to SPS is just the number of benefits that SPS has, not only at the chapter level, but at the national level with membership. So one thing is, of course, the SPS News. This is sent out with the top 5 pieces of news for students and advisors. We also, on the zone level, we like to send out monthly or so newsletters about, big things going on within the zone. That mostly goes out to the advisors and the officers. So if you're an officer or an advisor, I highly encourage you to forward those emails to the rest of your chapter. Many of these emails that are in the SPS News, they cover the awards and grants that we offer, which is numerous. We have many scholarships to offer. We have many travel awards to offer for conferences like this. We have service awards, both for SPS and Sigma Pi Sigma, to honor people who are contributing to the SPS and Sigma Pi Sigma missions, and much more. Also general news about the society, stuff about FizCon. FizCon is a very, very fun event that happens every 3 years. Our next one is going to be in 25. That's in Denver, Colorado, right? That's going to be a very fun one. Dame Jocelyn Bell will be there. Also talk about chapter and membership. There's many opportunities to join SPS National, both as an individual, a group, a chapter. So there's more information on there. And also stuff about zone meetings, RUs, research, internships, and other jobs. So it's a very, very useful tool just to understand what is going on in SPS and in the zone. And speaking of what's in SPS in the zone, the SPS handbook. This is basically a one-stop shop about everything that there is that comes to SPS, you know, from our scholarships, awards, the deadlines for those scholarships and awards, research, chapters and how they're interacting and what's going on with them, and just so much more.
If I can jump in.
Yes.
If there are chapters here in this room who don't have the most recent handbook, we have a few copies being sent to us because of the zone meeting. Let me know. We have about 10 copies, so we can give it out to chapters. We can't give it to every single person, but we have, I think, 8 copies actually. But let me know.
How many people got this year? You should have gotten mailing. Okay. Check your advisor. You should have gotten one. If you didn't, you need to get your mailing list updated. Or mailing list updated.
Yeah, but let me know because we have it in this building, in the box under the SPS table. I have it right there. So I can give it to every single chapter. Okay.
Yeah. Thank you. And then also, here's a little overview of some of the awards and grants that we have going on. We have the Future Faces of Physics. This is a $500 award for supporting outreach projects. And by the way, these are all fall awards, as you can see in the yellow. They're all due November 15th, so that's coming up relatively soon here, less than a month. Chapter research awards, these can be up to $5,000 for an outstanding chapter advisor for leadership and research. The Marsh W. White Outreach Award, this is a very big one in terms of outreach that I've seen other chapters use the money towards more outreach in their chapters, you know, for physics demos, outreach to students. It's a great award that I've seen numerous chapters work with. We also have for laboratory development and many Sigma Pi Sigma chapter projects. This is going off the basis of the 4 pillars of Sigma Pi Sigma. Did you want to add anything about this? No? Okay. Yeah. We also have spring awards. These will be due March 15th, so we still have plenty of time for that. Numerous different scholarships that range from $2,000 to $6,000. You know, that's a pretty good hunk of change, even for one semester. We also have outstanding undergraduate research. This is for the development of big research achievements with 2 awards. I think that's wonderful. And also an outstanding chapter advisor. This is honored during the National Council meeting every year. Our most recent one is Chad from, I forget which
Zone 17.
Zone 17. He was recently named our outstanding chapter advisor. That comes with a $5,000 award that's divided amongst the advisor, chapter, and the department. And some rolling scholarships and grants, such as the travel awards. These can support you to get to conferences such as APS and zone meetings and whatnot. Numerous chapter or research awards and reporter awards. So if you go to a conference such as this and you report on it, you can get awards from that.
If I can quickly come in here. So the travel awards, as Jacob said, you can go to a conference, you can go to local conferences, you can also, we will hear later today, our students go to March meeting, very often using those awards. The research award, this is a new award, and this award where you don't have to go to a conference, but you actually go to a research facility to do research. And this is something that the National Council pushed through recently.
Yes. All right. So in terms of the service awards, I highly encourage you to look into the service awards, both for SPS and Sigma Pi Sigma, because these are wonderful ways of acknowledging the chapter leaders, chapter members, advisors, people within your department that are doing something to help progress physics, progress SPS, and progress the department for the students at the university or even outside of the university. Both of them are just in some aim towards the mission of SPS, or the 4 pillars that hold Sigma Pi Sigma. So these are wonderful awards. You can find much more information on the SPS website, or if you come to myself or Dr. Kuman to ask, what can you do for the service awards and how to apply. Did you want to talk about outreach?
Very quickly, right. So SPS has quite a wealth of information about outreach, quite a few resources that you can use to do the outreach. And you will hear a little bit later today about this, how CSU uses those resources. So I'll skip. But there are also those great demonstrations available on the website. So you can actually see how those different outreach lessons are done. And this is very useful, as well as Physics Jeopardy resource too. So that's just one example. It shows you that you have indeed given not only the specific lesson plan, but estimate for time, how much time it would take. And they will send you those SOC. The national office will send you SOC outreach kit, which will help you to deal with specific topic. For example, this time around, this is obviously about the eclipse. The other thing I would like to quickly bring up, the SPS job site. This is something important, especially for juniors and seniors, right? When you start looking for jobs and locations to go afterwards. This is a very important resource. It also has summer positions available, such as RU positions, as well as some NASA positions, research positions too. So right here you have a RU position at Ohio State highlighted. Career toolbox. If you guys are graduating and you'd like to figure out how to build your resume, how to assess your skills in looking for the position, how to do interviews, this is a wonderful tool, which actually was developed with support from National Science Foundation grant. And so this is a really great resource. You can find this in the link on, right there on the slide. And I strongly advise you to explore that if you haven't done yet. Graduate School Shopper. Well, many of you are thinking about grad school. Well, Graduate School Shopper now is a part of SPS, you can say. So we're actually now setting out the Graduate School Shopper magazine every single fall with the SPS Observer. So it's an extremely important resource too. So I'm trying to go really quickly because we have so little time. Another important resource, which not many SPS presidents know, we have this wonderful alumni engagement program. And which basically students, former SPS students and faculty volunteer to provide any help and support to SPS chapters. And I'm very proud to note that here we have a Marie Blatnik, who was our outreach coordinator, and she is right now a PhD candidate at Caltech. Now, publications. Well, there is SPS Observer. SPS Observer is something that publishes important results, and Yaron has one version of it, and I have another version right here, most recent one. And this one actually came, this is very thick because it came out with the Graduate School Shopper. So you can find a lot of information on how to look for grad school in this most recent fall Observer. Okay, so this is a really very important resource that SPS provides, and you can find this on the web page, and you also should be getting this in the mailer every single semester, so fall and spring semester. A few issues are highlighted here. This is a journal that has been going through a name change a couple of times. This journal, JORPA called now, because we are a society of physics students and students in astronomy as well. And also this journal just recently changed back its name from the reports to research. So it's a journal of undergraduate research in physics and astronomy. And this journal actually does have a DOI number. So while this is not necessarily a publication of extremely high impact factor, it's still a formal publication with DOI number. And if you have this project, which, I don't know, your senior project or some type of project in your undergraduate career that just stays there and not being published, and you know that it will not lead to a big publication, why not to submit it there? You'll get a formal publication, which it would look pretty nice on your application to grad school later on. So keep this in mind. It's still an old logo here, now with JORPA, because we're trying to be inclusive and we invite astronomers here. Internship. Do you want to talk about internships quickly?
Yeah, I love internships. I love research. And SPS can support you with that through the SPS internships. So you can apply starting November 1st. The internships are a wide variety. As you can see, we have 13 here with numerous different organizations. We're connected to AIP and surrounding associations within Washington, D.C. For example, I'm a little biased towards Space Telescope Science Institute. I'm astrophysics. But this is a great opportunity to get out there, do some research, potentially get into a little bit of, lobbying and a little policy making type deal for some of these internships. For example, Mather Public Policy at Capitol Hill. These are amazing internships, and they're paid. Yes, they're paid as well, which is huge. We love money. So yes, I encourage you, please start applying for SPS the internships starting November 1st.
And the setup of this is basically like a setup of any RU. The only difference is that look at this list. Yeah, there are 5 people doing research at least, really hard research, but others work at this policy or with APS careers or AAP physics today or designing new SOC outreach for the next year for the SPS doing outreach. And this group of students, as you can see here, one example, spending the summer together. They have together professional development activities like any RU. So it's a really amazing opportunity.
Yes. So yeah, a little bit more, 10-week paid internship in DC. There's many different areas, as you just saw. The eligibility is having an SPS membership, which we can talk a little bit more about later. Having demonstrated interest or experience in one or more of the topical areas. Having at least 2 years of college physics is preferred, and US citizen may impact a few of these positions. If you have any more,
this is an important difference. RU doesn't take foreign students without green card. RU do not take them. I know this really well. SPS does. SPS internship for most of the positions, not all of them, but most of the positions they do. Okay, so that's a big difference right there.
Yeah, because those REUs are oftentimes through NSF, and they have that requirement, but SPS doesn't. And then, do you want to finish up, Ron, with membership benefits?
Yeah. So we really like that. Obviously, you can see here that the SPS has a lot of things to offer. I think people maybe not realize how much it has to offer. So first of all, you get the SPS Observer magazine 3 times a year. Plus, you'll get once a year a printed copy of the JERPA. You get the Physics Today magazine every month. So that's the same magazine that goes out to all professional physicists who join the professional societies. You're eligible to apply for all these things we've been talking about. You get, this is amazing, 2 free memberships for AIP member societies. Okay, each one of those, if I have to pay for them, you're talking at least probably $150, $200 a year, right? And you get them along with your membership fee. So you get the SPS News, which is the bi-weekly newsletter. You get all these career and graduate school resources, the travel support, as we mentioned, if you apply for that. You can get free joint membership in either the National Society of Black Physicists or National Society of Hispanic Physicists, and access to all the other outreach and other materials. So $24 a year individually. If you get together with some of your friends, it can be even less, okay? So come talk to us if you're interested in that approach. Here's how much, obviously I mentioned the individual membership here. The group membership, it's if you have greater than 5, you can start getting a discount. If you have, I think, up to 40, you can get a 20%, 25% discount. And if you have a lot of people, get your department to pay for it. $350 for flat rate, 200 memberships. Incredible deal, okay? They are losing money on this, I'll tell you that, okay? Get them to sign up for this. So, there are lots of different options, so we want you to be in the society. Okay, so same thing. Yeah, sorry.
Formal flyer.
Yeah, formal flyer.
We have a lot of information, and also, of course, we have our social media. You can scan that QR code. We have a lot of info here. So, do we have any questions before we move on to our next little section here? I know there's a lot of stuff. Myself and Dr. Kumar are always here if you have any questions at any time. But do we have anything right now that anyone wants to ask about? Oh, okay.
Yeah, there's a wonderful SPS store. I added this slide to the deck that Ron had. I really love SPS store, all this SPS stuff. And by the way, some of the stuff shown here will be featured as the awards for the Jeopardy competition, Civic Jeopardy competition that we have tomorrow. So I won't tell you what, but something from this slide will.
There are also free logos to download. You can download any of these Spherical Cal logos from the SPS website, or you can make up your own as long as it meets our code of conduct. We're actually I think I would personally like to get one as SPS Zone 7 logo with including some kind of Spherical Cal. So if you're a good artist or even a moderately good artist, come talk to us, and we'd like to talk to you. All right, at this point then, we're going to switch over to the presentation from the CSU president here, Patrick. He's going to tell us a little about some of the things that have been going on at Cleveland State.
Everyone got that? Okay. So I'm going to try to stay away from the mic because you'll find that I'm plenty loud enough probably to fill this room. But we got a lot of information on national and like the zone councils, all that good stuff, all the benefits that you can get. We just thought it'd be a good idea of what you guys can do as a chapter, maybe give you ideas on what you can do from week to week. Or maybe you see all this stuff and you think we do better stuff than that. And you come and talk to us and you give us good ideas. And then we have a whole dialogue. And that seems fun. So let's try to connect with each other and try to see what every chapter does and learn from each other, I think is our best bet. So let's get this started. We have basically like once every 2 weeks, at least, we try to meet during the semester at Cleveland State. And here, I think, are probably the four best things that we do, the one, at least most engaging for all the students that show up. We do Physics Jeopardy, which you guys will experience, hopefully, tomorrow. You should come. You'll love me reading answers and questions at you. It'll be a good time. We also have the Physics Olympics, where we have a lot of fun, like science-based competitions, some more mathematical, some more physical, or people running around, stuff like that. I think it's a really good time. Everybody definitely has fun at that one. We also have, at the end of every semester, we have liquid nitrogen ice cream, which is made right in front of all of our students. And they think that's really, really cool because it's liquid nitrogen ice cream. Come on, who doesn't like that? And we also, here at CSU, we have plenty of alumni who are successful in their careers after school. So some of them like to come back and tell us about it. And you learn something maybe about what you're interested in or the future that you want, and you can make new networking connections, all that good stuff. So there's fun. There's a lot of benefit to it as well. It's not just fun. It's not just, sitting there listening to lectures. It's a little bit of a combination of both, which I think is the best that you can really do. And next is, importantly, I just want to talk about the two conferences that we recently went to. Plenty of our officers that are here today did go to BizCon in 2022. That was in DC, and we had a really good time. Personally speaking, I can't imagine a better way to connect with my other officers and other people from different universities. It was a really cool experience just to see all of those undergraduates there. You really don't get anything like it anywhere else. And I also just wanted to include Dr. S in a wizard hat if you wanted to peep that. That's a lovely time. There were really cool tours we went to, really good talks, and that was really, really cool. But honestly, I think everyone's takeaway that went to it was how well we all connected while we were doing it. It was just a really cool experience overall. So anyone who's still going to be an undergraduate and in their SPS chapter, when the next one rolls around, I highly encourage it. It's really, really cool to go to. It's really awesome. I'm sure you were already interested in it, but come on, I have to put it out there as well. Me, Colin, and one other student also went to March meeting in 2023. We had travel awards that we used. We presented our undergraduate research, and March meeting is really great because it's much more professional feeling than the PhysCon is. And that's really cool. You can talk to actual professional leaders in their field about your research. And that's like a really cool feeling that you can talk to them about it and make very good connections during that huge conference. You will be overwhelmed, but it's really, really cool to go to as well. And you can all kinds of talks. It's something that I think more people should take advantage of. And if you're going to present your research, just a poster or something like that, you can get the travel award, the SPS travel award, which, there's plenty of those. So I highly recommend it. We also saw some of our alumni there. So we connected back with people who used to go to CSU. Just once again, I'm going to say it a lot. Really cool experience. Highly recommend. That one isn't every 3 years. That one's every year in March, if you couldn't tell. So highly recommend you guys go to that as well. And moving on to the thing that I think our chapter does best, and the strongest thing I'm going to recommend that any chapter does is local outreach. We love doing outreach here, at least I know I do, and I know that our officers really love doing it just because, especially in some of the areas, I'm sure around here and then around some of the other universities, there's just not a lot of available science education for some of these kids. We range all the way from elementary school, we go all the way up to high school, and it's work, but we go anywhere that'll have us practically if we can. And we recently went to a biomed academy in Rootstown, very close to here. It sounds very fancy, but it is a public school. It's a lottery school, so it's not all these super well-to-do families that end up coming here or anything like that. It's not like that. And we specialize here in optics, so we did a lot of fun optics demonstrations with them. We always open it to questions at the end, and we have them ask us any science, physics questions that we think we can answer, hit us with it. And trust me, I highly recommend that because you're never going to hear better questions in your entire life, especially with the elementary school students. Do that with the elementary school students. It's fantastic. I love it. But we have make use of the socks that you can get from SPS National. Those are priceless as far as the demonstrations. And even if you don't use exactly what you have, the ideas that you get from it are awesome. And we also had the March White Award that we used for this outreach specifically that gave us funding so we could get good demonstrations for these kids. We had enough people where we could split them all up, have them be more hands-on with everything that we did. It's really, really cool. Even if it seems like not a lot of people want to do it or something like that in your chapter, just try to get it started. If you're not already doing outreach, it's 100% worth it. The feeling that you get from it is absolutely perfect. There's nothing better. So we did that at Biomed. Then we had some of our other students from Biomed come to CSU, and we actually showed them all of our labs, and we had liquid nitrogen ice cream for them there. And we all had a really good time as well. But that's just more physics demonstrations that we did then. This was much more general. This wasn't just the SPS students, by the way. This was our whole department got together, including our graduate students that helped us out with this. And we had the students come in and we gave them the best time that they could possibly have. And I think that they definitely had entertaining stuff that they were able to do. And most recently, we went to Bath Elementary. It's about 30 minutes away from here. And we were doing a lot of optics stuff. So we decided to switch it to South. Still waves, but we switched it to South waves instead. And these were younger students. And I don't know why, it's more fun. It's just more fun. They get more into it. They're always curious about everything that's happening around them. And that's always a really good time. We gave them noisemakers way too early. We should wait till the end until we did that. But we also played lovely music for them featuring Jordan and Grace, and they nailed it. So they did a really good job. And if you're wondering how you get this started or something like that, I just took advantage of the fact that my little nephew goes here. So he said that he had a physicist uncle, which is, I don't feel like I'm a physicist yet, I'm still a student, but he was bragging about me, and then it turned into this. So any connections that you possibly make, and I promise you, even if you just reach out to local schools, they're probably more than happy to have you come out and have fun, interactive demonstrations for physics and science in general with the students. I promise you, most places aren't going to just turn that down. It's definitely a gift to have people who want to do this. And so if you have questions about how you can get into outreach or anything like that, I actually gave a presentation about outreach at March meeting, and the feedback that I got from it was sky high compared to what I thought it was going to be. It was a poster. I was like, not many people were running up. Like, I had to come see this poster. It's definitely something that's of interest to locally. It's something that you can do together that really brings you all together, and it's a good time. So please, by all means, there's a reason that most of this presentation was about outreach. I'm very passionate about the outreach portion of what we do here. And we also had our Sigma Pi Sigma inductions here, where actually Brad made an appearance because our previous, national director, because we had Gerald Walker receiving a very special induction for all the work that he's done in physics and with 50 years at Cleveland State. And I gave a small presentation there. We featured many alumni and a few leaving students. And we do this every year. This is also something really cool that we do where we all come together, have a dinner, and we move on from there. Okay, so that is all I have. By all means, please come find me or any other member of the CSU SPS officers. And we are more than happy to talk about anything that we do and that you can do or any ideas for us. Thank you very much.
So just wanted to have a brief word here about chapter reports. So at the end of every year, the National Council solicits reports from each chapter. And these are really important because they really kind of tell us what has been going on. We try to keep up as much as we can, but the reports really do help. So if you have been submitting them, thank you very much. We appreciate that. We read every single one of them. If you haven't been submitting them, please consider submitting them. It doesn't have to be long and complicated. Just tell us what you've been doing. If you do submit one, then you go into the pool, we review them all, and we give awards actually for the best reports that we get. So as it notes here, we have nearly 100 chapters in our zone, but less than 30 file reports every year. Okay, despite me sending email after email after email. So if you want to get less emails, turn in reports, and I won't send as many. But we do want to get those in if you can provide them. Okay, and if you know of chapters that aren't too active, maybe are a little dormant, then let us know or reach out to those people, and we can certainly help to get those going again.
I assure you, Dr. Kumar and I read every word of the chapter reports. So please, we want to hear from you. We want to hear what you're doing in your chapter, what ideas we can spread to other chapters, what you need help with. You get a chance to, ask us, I would like to learn more about this. And we will make an effort to reach out to you to answer those questions and give you the resources that you're asking for. So please submit your chapter reports.
All right. So in the time remaining, we want to do a little open discussion. So Jacob's going to lead that. But here's some starting questions. But there's other things you want to talk about, by all means.
Yeah. So Patrick did a lovely job talking about what CSU does. I've heard nothing but outreach and amazing outreach opportunities, which I absolutely love. I do a lot of outreach at Wayne State University, mostly for our planetarium. But I want to ask y'all, what do you do in your chapters? Do you do this outreach? Do you have intentions to do outreach? Do you have other ideas that you might have? I open up the floor to y'all. What do you do at your chapters that you are out of and that you think other chapters could benefit from doing as well, or potentially those ideas that they could start working with? Anyone have anything? Yes.
At Kent State, we also have a planetarium. It just started getting up and running after COVID pretty much killed it. But our outreach, we're actually bringing people to us. We have busloads of children that come to us and view the planetarium. That's what we have planned for spring most of it. And the solar eclipse is going to be a huge outreach.
It'll be especially lucky for you guys. Me being in Detroit, I'm only getting about 90% coverage of the eclipse. I might try to and mine.
Yeah.
But if you using on-campus facilities is a wonderful idea to get more outreach. You already have the facilities there. You just need to make an effort to get into those facilities and get people to come to those facilities to have some sort of an event. One other thing kind of stemming off of that for Wayne State, what we like to do in our chapter is sponsor certain department events. So we have our undergraduate physics research conference that's coming up on November 9th for us. This is right in the name, undergraduate physics research conference. We allow undergrads to present their research, and it's the SPS board of officers and a committee of members that we call upon to organize it. And we just organize it for the whole day, have research, and that's just one more thing that we can say SPS has done in the department. So those facilities and department events you can jump into, so long as you're the ones initiating that, or maybe people will come to you and ask you about it once you get your name out there. So Lovely. I love the plan sharing idea. Anything else? Do we have anything else in terms of outreach or maybe even questions about outreach? Yeah.
So Case Western is a new link to the chapter, but we're working on doing outreach next semester with a school that our department has close by to.
Nice. Very happy about that. Of course, Case Western recently pumped itself back up. How many Case Western folks do we have here? Raise your hand. I love that so much. It's so beautiful seeing that. So let's kind of stem out from outreach. What do you all do in your chapters just to meet up in the first place? Do you have maybe monthly meetings, or do you just have events that you do? What are some ideas that you guys have to bring your chapter members and people in your department together? Yes.
At Ohio State, what we do is sometimes we do building tours. So up and coming for our chapter, we're going to do a tour of our research reactors, so that we can see how it works and how like nuclear reactions, how to come to research with that.
I did not know y'all have that. That is so cool. I would go there. Yeah, another usage of facilities and encouraging people to come to campus. That's another huge thing, using campus. So lovely idea there. Do we have anything else about how we get our chapter members together? Let's start with you.
At Ohio University, we did a spring break trip last year. We do that yearly, and then last spring break we went to Chicago, so we toured Fermi and Argonne National Labs.
Wow, very nice. Fermi is such a lovely place.
How did you raise money for it?
We made t-shirts and we sold t-shirts, and we also got some funding from our department to it.
I know a lot of chapters like to make their own t-shirts, like every year with their own design, have a little logo competition. So that's a great way for bonding with your chapter. Absolutely.
Yeah, so we actually kind of revived our business club this year, and the first event was basically decorating our interactive lounge. We bought like big styrofoam balls and tapestry things and like a 200 feet of like fairy lights, where we like covered the whole ceiling with the fairy lights, and it was really fun. Everyone painted, and that was really cool. And we launched like very homey and cozy. Everyone just turns off all the lights and just turns on the fairy lights, and they're like chilling there. That's awesome. Yeah.
I love that idea. Student space.
Yeah.
Very important to have a student space for students to just freely come to and collaborate and talk and just chill out. By show of hands, how many people at your university or in your department have a space for the students to hang out like that? Okay, so Case Western mostly, yes, we do. And yeah, awesome, beautiful. So we have a few. That's awesome. Now let's move on just a little bit from meetings and whatnot. Do y'all have anything that you would like to do more of in your chapter? Like maybe you want to do more outreach, or you want to do more get-togethers or more fundraisers or anything like that. What are some things that you want to do that you would like to hear from other people what they do that you can take ideas from? Anyone have anything that you're interested in and aren't quite sure how to get started on? Maybe someone else can answer that for you.
Case Western is planning its first Sigma Pi Sigma initiation for November 17th. So if anyone has advice on that.
Anyone for Sigma Pi Sigma stuff? I know you can always coincide that with an event. We'd like to do our inductions during our undergraduate physics research conference. So around November 9th, we'll be inducting people and we will be doing our research. Yes.
Yeah, we hold ours because I believe that we run one section of iron Vietnam and then one section of advanced lab, and we approve the posters and we have the poster conference.
Anyone else do anything special with their Sigma Pi Sigma inductions?
So if I can interject, we heard from Case Western, we heard from Cleveland State, we heard from Ohio State, we heard from Kent State. We didn't hear anything from Worcester. Anything? Any contribution from Worcester? Yes.
First big event that we do, like a big dinner for everyone that's shown interest in our like big general physics club. So we have like pizza, and they like mention ice cream, and that's your reception.
Nice dinner, great way to celebrate.
Any other schools which were not represented here yet? Was there someone from Marietta, I thought? No?
Anything else about, things you'd like to start up that you're not quite sure where to start?
I'll answer the question if nobody else has one. So I know that we talk a lot, at least for our chapter, a lot of the funding that we get comes from SPS and those types of awards. And so if you guys have other external fundraising things, we talk about selling like the t-shirts, but I know that sometimes depending on that, deadlines and weird things from your department are weird. If you guys have ideas on other ways to raise money for your chapters and what has been successful, what has worked, but didn't work. That sort of thing.
Fundraising techniques, anyone have any ideas?
Even if you haven't done it, you just think it's a good idea that maybe you want to try,
Yeah.
that works too.
I try and talk with my department pretty often. I got money so that we can do the 350 for the membership fee every year. I talk to my department chair and I often talk to him and he just has fun sometimes.
That's actually a great topic. How do you pay for the membership, right?
Yeah.
So you say that the
Yeah,
department helped you.
Our department is covering the 350 to get 200 people in, and we just submitted the forms so that we can get people registered in the national SPS, but that money is coming from the department. So talk to your department chairs, get a relationship with your department, and you'll have great avenues for getting money in many cases.
One alternative idea, the way we pay for the membership of the SPS officers, we ask SJ. So we go to student government, and student government for any active organization, Cleveland State gives certain amount of money. And this is the seed money to go for the membership of the officers every single year. That's how we try to do it. So that officers don't have to pay the $24. They provide enough service to get it for free, I think.
I know that in Grove City, I think they're still doing it. They would use a program every year called Rent a Student. So they would have people in the community would pay for students to go out and, break things up their lawn or whatever needs to be done elsewhere. And then that money would go to the chapter. They would raise money and they use that to go to FISCON and things.
In fact, Rand and SPS advisor as well.
There you go.
Any other fundraising ideas before we end off here?
I just another question. What problems are you having in your chapters?
Yes.
Not necessarily problems within the chapter, but the school is having a funding issue. So a lot of things are on hold. Do you have any advice for navigating the actual academic nonsense?
Trust me, I face a lot of it too.
Yeah.
It's a lot to get through the department, not so much the department, but more so the general university for me as well. There's so much red tape everywhere. It gets very, very annoying. I personally would say have a connection in those different departments. Like I talk to our Dean of Students office relatively often just to get my name out there. I ask as many questions as I can to figure out what are the limitations, how long does this take, what are your deadlines. I try and keep up on that stuff every year to know what is the current status and then just try and collaborate with them so I can get those forms through as quickly as I can. That's one idea because I know it's very hard to navigate around that oftentimes. Does anyone else? Yes.
I have two, since we're going through exactly the same type of issues with some periodicity. Quite regular. Alumni. This should be the name of the world. Because alumni can support you. If they really care about Kent State, they will do anything. They will provide money. They will write letters. This is the one way to do this. We like this year round, and we have a scholarship which was supported just from the giving day from the alumni last year. So it was giving day, and we raised about $3,000, and there are 2 scholarships for students who are applying for that. So that's one idea, right? Another important idea, since we represent here National SPS Office, reach out to us, get SPS Office behind them, because that's usually helps.
Yeah.
Getting letters from the director of SPS helps.
Yes. Yeah, we can absolutely help you. Anytime you come and reach out, we'll try and find money for you as best we can. And then other avenues.
This would be nice to administrative assistants, I think.
Yeah,
They
absolutely.
amazing things.
So I think we have like 6 minutes left before the next session, and the organizers of Eagles asked me that we make sure that students go and attend the next session of the Eagles conference, which is the talk by Dr. Mather from Case Western from Chemistry Department on the DNA organic. And it will be upstairs again. And once again, just very quickly, we have a program. You can see everything SBS related in this program. There are several events that we invite you to come to from the Eagles. You're definitely welcome to go anywhere you want. And we have some SBS, only SBS events, so SBS focused event on Saturday, as well as the game night tonight.
Yes.
So you're welcome to join Patrick. You know that he is very outspoken, right? So you're welcome to join Patrick tonight, and we will have some snacks. Some snacks in my car right now, but I'll bring them.
I'll play your card.
Yes.
But yes, please, if you guys ever have questions about SPS, or if you ever have issues, or you want to learn more about resources, please, I welcome all of your emails. Dr. Kumon welcomes all of your emails. If you don't have our emails, come up and ask us. We'll give it to you. We're here for you.
Anybody still need to sign in? All right, thank you very much. We'll send these out to you. So again, 5 o'clock, we'll be doing another presentation, a little more detail, a little different emphasis about programs. It'll be upstairs in the ballroom. So just before the closure session. Okay.
Beautiful.
Thank you very much.
Thank you all.
Today.
Yes.